What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JTLive. Welcome back to another episode of South Stand Signings, the series, of course, where what do? We go through everything happening in and around the world of Leeds United, and we have a little talk about it on the signings front. As I said, we're closing in on to the last 10 days of the transfer window, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get in there and start mucking about and see what's going on. And it's been a day where Leeds have actually made a signing. That's right, the first story of today is surrounding Mato Joseph. He has signed a new contract until 2028, just like Archie Gray's one. So he's going to be at the club for the foreseeable future. Now, what does this actually mean for Leeds United? I don't 100% know, because we've seen this year, even though we've struggled to have actually consistent striker in the team with Bamford out and Perot not able to play that forward role, under Daniel Farke we've seen Joseph has had limited opportunities, and when he hasn't really performed. Now, is this me saying I think the club should get rid of him? No, absolutely not. The question is there a route into the first team for Joseph? I know I speak to a lot of you every day, every week, and a lot of you watch a lot of the under-21s football and have given rave reviews to what he's been doing in the youth setups at Leeds and how he's been banging the goals in. Even my uncle is one that's saying, get him in the main team. He's banging in the youth team. Get him in the main team. Unfortunately, it hasn't quite worked through to him, but until 2028, I think that's a good deal. And I don't see any problems with it at all, because if we do sell him anyway, we've got him tied down to a long deal. So I think it's a good move, but we need Leeds to start putting pen to paper on some other deals. Just a little bit more on it. Joseph, who joins the Whites in January 2022, made a name for himself in the development program by consistently scoring goals at the under-18 and under-21 level. Joseph already made 6 appearances for the first team under Daniel Farke. Most recently appeared in the FA Cup victory over Peterborough United. Yeah, he made 6 appearances, but, let's be real, a lot of those appearances came with like 5 minutes left in the game. But having said that, as I said, great talent and a great thing moving forward. Now, speaking of a little bit less exciting news for Leeds fans, it is a move that Leeds have missed out on. It is Josh Doig, who is apparently set to complete a move to Sassuolo after travelling for a medical on Thursday night, 18th of January, which was yesterday, following January interest from Leeds United, according to the Times. The paper reported via their website on the 19th of January that the Scottish left-back is on the brink of a bumper move from Hellas Verona, with the transfer to be completed on the same day. The Whites were said to be interested in the 21-year-old as they look to strengthen at fullback during the January transfer window, but have never actually advanced to putting a formal bid on. He is now going to stay in Italy after a £5 million move with £850,000 worth of add-ons, which, if we're going to be splashing that kind of money, to be honest with you, I'd rather use all of that to get a great loan signing like a Neco Williams, maybe even a Jaffet Tanganga, someone like that. So listen, I don't think that's a huge miss for Leeds, but let me know if any of you guys were excited about the prospect of Josh Doig. Now, another fullback that Leeds have been heavily interested in, someone who can also play centre-back, is Ben Daddy Davies. And there is some big news apparently circulating around, according to Phil Hay. And there is a very interesting bit of information that's apparently coming out. It is supposed that his father is actually a Leeds United fan. Now, I don't know how much I read into this. They're basically saying, listen, he is likely to move on somewhere because his position at Tottenham is really under threat. He's played at centre-back a lot this year. They've just signed another player who can play in that position. It was part of the Djed Spence move where he went the other way. And I'm not 100% sure where his place in the squad is. I mean, it goes on to say he will become peripheral at Tottenham thanks to the transfer business done by the Premier League club. It was noted by Phil Hay today that he believes that him going to the second tier is still a little bit far-fetched, even though it would be a terrific deal, and there is a lot of outline thinking behind it. Radu Dragusan from Genoa is the man who's taken his place, And there's a lot of news circulating around this. We read about him the other day, and I really didn't think it was a story that was going anywhere. I really didn't see much truth into him coming over to Leeds at all. But apparently his dad's a Leeds fan, and it could be a move on the cards. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Now, another move which might be a little bit more realistic, but a little less exciting, is a player we've been linked with a lot over the past couple of years, and it is Calvin Ramsay, the Liverpool fullback who spent a lot of time out on loan at Preston North End this year, but only managed to have 2 appearances. The Daily Mail reported on the print edition on the 18th of January that the Whites were readying a move for the 20-year-old Scottish right back. The injury expert claims, however, that whilst he underwent knee surgery that kept him out of action for over a year, he will pass his medical without any issues, and he is clear to go. He had to undergo knee surgery that kept him out of action for over a year towards the end of 2022. This will likely not affect his medical. However, as failed medicals are rare and usually require a significant issue, which, you know, is quite alarming because Leeds have had a couple of players fail medicals. Cuisance was one, I think that was his name, a couple of years ago. He was actually quite an exciting prospect before he came. But yeah, Leeds have had a couple of players that, you know, we've pulled the string at their medical recently, so you never know. But yeah, it does seem like there's other articles also backing up Leeds' interest for Calvin Ramsay. Right now, obviously, we haven't put any concrete bids in, and I can't see if there's actual concrete talks going on between the clubs, but he is another name that is being thrown about there. Again, I push him slightly behind Tanganga, slightly behind Neco Williams in terms of my desire for a fullback. I don't think he's quite at the level of a Neco Williams personally, but again, I would love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments section down below. Now, other news surrounding Leeds' departures is this man, Diego Lorente, who is apparently moving over to PSG. We spoke about this the other day. He is still a target for PSG this month as he prepares to play under a new coach at Roma in Daniele Da Rossi, the iconic central defensive midfielder for Roma. But apparently, oh, pardon me, he is readying a move over to Paris Saint-Germain, and that could free up some money for Leeds United. We'll never know, but we'll let you know as more information come around that one. They go on to say an intriguing turn of events with Luis Enrique's PSG side this month has seen them target a second Leeds defender on a permanent deal. First it was Pascal Struijk, who came up too expensive, and now it's Diego Lorente, with journalist Santi Aona revealing that the French giants are still in the hunt for the Spaniard. Well, would you believe that? By all accounts, Leeds have a better defender than what PSG are about to sign, because they wanted Pascal Struijk first. They couldn't get him, so they went for our sloppy seconds in a guy who is out on loan and doesn't even play for us anymore. Therefore, proving that Struijk is the superior defender out of the two. You know, what can you say? It's basically factual evidence right there. There was another bit of information around a potential signing of pen to paper as well. This one would excite a lot of fans out there, a lot of Leeds fans, but it's not really something that's going to improve the squad drastically. Why? Because we've already got the player in the squad. It is Joe Rodon. And apparently, Fark was asked whether he would sign Joe Rodon on a permanent deal, and he was very much up for it. However, he said he could not make any moves before the end of the season, but basically gave Joe Rodon his flowers and said he's been very impressed with him this season. And just finally, the final bit of news that I've seen from today is surrounding Ben Johnson, a man Leeds have been linked very heavily with. We've spoken about it quite a bit, about the fact that he could potentially come on a loan deal. He's only got 6 months left on his contract. However, West Ham are now tipped to soon start restarting talks with Ben Johnson over a new contract amidst the defender being targeted by Leeds United, again reported by The Athletic. Whether the defender will be Ben Johnson that Leeds sign is unclear, as West Ham to be keen to be focused on keeping him. The Hammers are tipped to be planning to start negotiations on a new contract again in the coming weeks. Johnson wants guarantees over playing time at West Ham if he is to put pen to paper on a fresh deal. He's only made 8 appearances in this season under David Moyes, and is disappointed to have been handed so few opportunities at the London Stadium. Very interesting. Listen, if they're talking coming weeks, that seems to me like a very late amount of time. There's not even a couple weeks left in the transfer window. So for them to be planning a deal within the coming weeks, either it shows that there's no intent from him to leave and he's happy to stay there and wait it out till the summer, or they're just completely gambling on the fact that he won't go and that they'll be able to keep him and give him a new contract in the coming weeks. I'll be intrigued to see how that goes down, but all the signs of this are showing that, listen, I don't think the links between him and Leeds are strong enough, and the only way I see us even getting anywhere close to signing him, and even I don't think that's guaranteed, is if it goes down to deadline day again and Leeds haven't managed to get anyone else and we just go hog wild for Ben Johnson. But otherwise, I don't see this really happening at all. These kind of things just really, show you that, what, I don't think there's much of a link there. But let me know what you guys think about all of these moves down in the comment section down below. Anyway, for now, guys, I will see you very, very soon tomorrow for some more transfer activity. It's the weekend, so a lot of things are going to be popping off, right? Let me know.